Look, Kevin Durant, arguably the best player in basketball. And Rob Parker, as he's done with so many, and this is a great strength of yours, great attribute you have, is giving guys nicknames. And the acronym, you own that. And you have called Kevin Durant what?
The Masot.
The Masot. The most sensitive of all time.
And we've seen all the examples of it, right?
Well, he's gone at me. He's gone at Cuttino Mobley. He's gone at many other media members for saying one thing or the other about him. Okay. And today is the latest example. He went at none other than our good friend, Stephen A. Smith. So Stephen A. was on his show, First Take, and he was relaying some stories that he had heard
from some of his people
about Kevin Durant. Here they are. Do we have
What we have to do is go back to OKC when he left. One of the things that has never been talked about was what transpired and why the friction between him and Russ existed. It wasn't because Kevin Durant left. It was how he handled it. According to what I have been told, the night before Kevin Durant flew to the Hamptons and the other four dudes, Iguodala, Draymond, Steph, and Clay met with him, Kevin Durant had dinner with Russell Westbrook, Nick Collison, I think Royal Ivy, but I'm not sure, and literally looked Russell Westbrook in the face and told him, I'm not leaving, I'm staying. And then went to the Hamptons and announced that he was going to Golden State. And when that happened, he didn't pick up the phone thereafter and call Russell Westbrook. He texted him, never even called.
So he went and met with them, looked them in the eye.
In L.A.
His Thunder teammates looked them in the eye and said, I'm staying.
I'm staying. And then left for the Hamptons.
And then told them
and then
he's
decided to go to Golden
them.
State and then text Russell Westbrook, but didn't call.
All right. So, and Steve also had a story about how he said that Kevin Durant never really cared for Steve Kerr, the Warriors coach. So on the show, during the show, Kevin Durant texted or DM'd or whatever.
Let's get it right.
Right. I don't know what it is, right?
Let's get it
but
right.
He reached out. He contacted Stephen A. Smith and called BS on Steve's story. And here's what Stephen A. said. He said, on the show, Stephen A. said this. Kevin Durant reached out, said it's BS what I'm saying. I should check my sources, you understand? And that's all he said. He did not elaborate, but I want to make sure I'm fair. Max Kellerman, the co-host of First Take, said, you have multiple sources? Stephen A. said multiple. Okay, multiple. And Stephen A. went on, I will say this. Someone's lying on you, meaning KD. I will take that back. Multiple people are lying on you, KD, if that's BS. Now, we're not going to focus on Stephen A. Smith.
No, that's
not.
Or
whether this is true, false, whatever. We're going to focus on Kevin Durant. Because as I said at the start, he has reached out to me while I was on the air to say, and I honestly, I don't think this time when he reached out to me when I was on the air, I don't think it was a negative thing. I think he may have been saying something critical of the person I was on with, but, defending himself. But he wasn't mad at me at that point.
Right.
But as many people know, me and KD have gone at each other in the media, privately, as I've shared with people. And he just will he'll go at you if he doesn't agree with what you say about him. Cuttino Mobley, former player, has said the same thing. He's gone at him. Other media members nationally that people would know their names have reached out to me and said KD's done the same thing with me. Marcus Thompson for The Athletic, who covers the Warriors,
and wrote a book about him.
Yeah, KD has gone at him. So KD does this. Stephen A., this is nothing new. The question I want to throw out, and I'm throwing it out to you first, Rob, and I'm throwing it out to you listeners second, so you'll get your chance to weigh in as you always do. We're all calling Kevin Durant sensitive and overly sensitive, right? For going at people, whether it's a 15-year-old in his mom's basement on Instagram with 40 followers, or whether it's a media member or it's another player, we call him too sensitive. But I'm going to throw out, I want to know, I'm not definitely saying this, but I'm just throwing it out as a possibility. Instead of being sensitive.
So instead of being the Masot, the most sensitive of all time.
Is it possible that Kevin Durant is not sensitive? He is just gangster.
Gangster?
Gangsta.
With an A?
With an A. Gangsta. Like Kevin Durant is like, yo, if you put my name in your mouth, I'm coming at you. I got that right. You gonna sit on national television, you gonna get on social media and talk about me, I'm going to check you. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Because here's the thing. If Kevin Durant, when he goes at people, checks them, whatever, if he were to go out on the court afterwards and shrink and look like all the voices in his head are bothering him, look like what I said or what Stephen A. said or what somebody else said bothers him and he can't play up to his optimum level, then you would say he's just soft, he can't handle it. But Kevin Durant backs it up. I'm not saying he's not sensitive. I'm just throwing out an alternative possibility. He goes out and balls. People can say what they want. He can battle with the 16-year-old anonymous cat on Instagram or Twitter. But when he gets between the lines, he delivers time and time again. Now, I will admit this before I go to you, Rob.
I was going to say, please.
All right. The burner account is not gangster.
That ain't gang. There you go.
That might and they're right. That might just disqualify you altogether.
I want that gangster
just putting
card.
It out there. Now go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
And
I had to just throw that out.
And that was part of it. My whole thing was the two things that tell me he's not is A, worrying about the 16-year-old who tweets something. Dude, if you're a gangster, come on, Chris. He doesn't matter.
True.
That's all right.
True.
He ain't on national television. He got 40 followers. Come on, man. Really?
I'll give you that. That's
you're
true.
going through
That's
it and
true.
you're looking and you see somebody said something and I got to get back at this kid.
Come on, man.
And then
at the little 7th grader from Omaha.
I mean, really. And then the burner account. If I'm big and bad and I'm that guy, I don't need no burner account.
True.
This is my account. Look at the name on it. I'm the guy talking to smack. It's me.
That's right. You're right.
So you wouldn't need to do all that, and that's why I believe he's just sensitive. And the biggest problem I have with it is most of the time, if somebody's wrong about what they're saying, that don't bother me. I know it ain't right.
Well,
I know it ain't right.
And I agree. I'm agreeing with a lot of what you said.
I'm not going to respond.
It's not gangster to have a burner account, and it's not gangster
but I'm
to
not
go
gonna
at some anonymous
I'm not going to
person
respond
that doesn't matter.
every time somebody says something.
Every
I'm
time.
not.
But here's the thing, Rob. The only thing I disagree with what you said is if somebody says something about you publicly that you know is wrong, there are times it won't bother me and I'll let it go. But there are other times where it might be so explosive, it might be so
I agree
off or something that I'm gonna be like, hold up, dude.
No, that's fine.
Right?
But that's not. He's been like through everything. Like every time somebody says something, he's got. That's the issue I have. I'm with you. If there's some real story out there that's so crazy and it's not true, then you want to clear your name. But not every little. If a guy gets up and says, "This is what I'm hearing from somebody."
Right.
Multiple sources, it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, Chris. That's what I'm hearing from these people who I know know you. Now that doesn't mean that it's right or wrong, but to be so worked up about every little story, something's wrong with that. That's something that you have wrong with you. And when you sign up to be a major league, a professional athlete, dude, it comes with the job. I hate to break it to you. That comes with the job.
No question.
People are going to cover you. You want to go to work at the post office, nobody will write a story about you and what you're doing. They won't.
Right. And you won't, guess what? You won't make $160 million.
Nobody's going to be criticizing your job performance at the post. People inside the post office might be mad, but ain't nobody writing no story. You're not on television. You don't have any sneaker deal. Dude, you can't have it both ways. You can't put yourself out there and want everybody to just, be all in on you and then not push back the other way. It comes with the territory.
Totally agree. And I've said that myself about Kevin Durant. Like,
we say it about ourselves, Chris,
right,
don't we?
Right, no question.
We get pushed back. People rip me all the time. They rip Chris. We get it. We have a radio show. We're on television. It comes with it. I can't be have my panties in a bunch every time somebody wants to rip me.
Right, and here's the thing, and I'm agreeing with you.
I don't have many panties on today.
Because I was not saying I think KD, and I think you know this, I think he's gangster. I was just saying, is it a possibility that instead of being sensitive, he is just that gangster? And to be honest with you, Rob, the evidence is on sensitive because of the burner account and going after the kids, people that don't matter, 40 followers, 30 followers, whatever, some teenager. So the evidence is there. And to your point, I have said, because Kevin Durant, one of his constant pet peeves is that we talk about things other than basketball. We talk about why he made this move, why he went here, why he went there, what's in his head. We psychoanalyze him. Okay? And he's upset about that. He said, I just want to play ball. Just talk about ball. And I said, look, if you just want to play ball, go to the YMCA
and play ball.
And be one of these brothers running up and down the court at open gym. And to your point, we won't write about you. We won't talk about you.
Nothing.
We won't psychoanalyze you. And you won't get multi-millions of dollars.
And here's the other thing. And I remember this. Player was leaving the Reds, asked me about going to New York to be a part of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Paul O'Neill played for the Reds going to the Yankees. He said, what advice would you give me? You worked in New York. Give me. I said, Paul, don't let the media speak for you. You strike out, bases loaded, ninth inning, be at your locker. Don't give us the opportunity. When you don't talk to us, Chris, what do we get? We have a license to try to figure out what was going on and why you struck out. Was it the pressure because you're only batting .210 in the ninth inning in your history or 190?
Right.
That's what we start to.
Right.
Now, if you get up and tell me I was looking for something and he slipped that in and I wasn't ready or whatever, then I could write that.
Right.
If you don't give me that, I have to guess. If you don't tell me why you left OKC to go, then I'm going to put you on the couch and determine why you did it because you won't tell me why.
Great point.
That's all. If you want to get your word out, you got to speak up.
No question. That's great. That's great. All right. Is it possible that instead of being the Masot,
most sensitive of all time,
Kevin Durant is actually the McGoat? Most gangster of all time. Put my name in your mouth and I'm coming for you.
Unbelievable, the McGoat.
Rob and I both had to conclude he's the Masot.
Yeah.
Because he got the burner account is what
the burner really account, because if you were really gangster, I don't need to hide behind it.
That's really what does it.
What am I hiding for? I'm just going to tell you, don't say anything and I'm going to come at you.
That's really what
I don't care about what we know, the pushback.
And it's a good bet. We don't know this for sure, and I hope this isn't true. It's a good bet he might have other burner accounts.
Probably.
I mean, maybe not just because it's obviously he got found out, so he might be fearful of being found out again, but it's possible, Who knows? Well, let's go to the calls. Mark in Louisiana, you're on the Odd Couple, Chris and Rob.
What's going on, fellas?
What's happening?
Great.
So, look, he's a fake gangster, man.
Uh-oh.
Fake.
Why you say fake?
Man, just think about it. All he wants to do is get on the burner account. He's just like them people who talk a lot of smack because he got a bunch of hold me back guys. He's just straight fake, man. Straight fake.
What they call it? And they call people Twitter gangsters. You know those guys because they know they're never going to see you.
I say they got Twitter muscles.
Twitter muscles.
Right.
Thanks for the call, Mark. Appreciate it. What about Davis in Jersey? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got?
Yo, what's up, fellas?
How you?
Listen, I work for good. I work for the post office, 23rd Lexington, 31 years. You guys are killing me. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what we do. I'm a Carrier 31 years. And we were talking about Durant the other day when he went to the Nets. And I said, you know what? Thank God he didn't come to the Knicks because him and Kyrie are so sensitive. And you guys both worked I know you worked for the Times, Chris, and you worked for the Daily News, Rob.
Yep.
You know, I know that. And let me tell you, I'm a sports fan. I'm a diehard sports fan. And this guy, you guys both know the Nets are not the Knicks with the media coverage. Now, I don't know if it's going to change because Durant and Kyrie are there, but you guys know that the papers do not cover the Nets the way they do the Knicks.
I'm going to tell you this, though, Davis. I'm admit. I think the Nets will get way more coverage, especially if the Knicks aren't good. I'm not saying that the Knicks will totally be off the back page, but it'll be hard to ignore if that team starts to play well.
Right.
And you know what I mean with the big names,
well,
right?
And they'll get major coverage.
Right.
No, now they won't take over the Knicks for the long term, but they'll get major
But
coverage.
you might at the papers. They might take their best basketball writers and shift them to the Nets. Like Mark Berman is a longtime Knicks writer for the Post, right? They might shift them.
I mean, when I covered the Nets,
I covered the Nets too. We
legit
both
coverage.
covered.
I mean, John Calipari was there. Stephon Marbury was there. Like, we covered them. The New York Times gave them play, and the other Daily News and New York Post.
Newsday and the Post.
Let's go to Luis in Las Vegas. Luis, you're on with Chris and Rob.
What's up, boy?
What up?
Feeling?
What's happening?
Oh, man. Talk about getting taken out of character. You know what I'm saying? You got played once again, you know? They told him, hey, your mama fat, and he came out swinging. You need to control yourself. You see LeBron getting upset when they say something about him? That's what makes him so good. LeBron will walk in hurt, drinking a glass of wine, chilling, you know, not
that
caring.
might be an extreme.
Yeah, that was, Louis. We appreciate it. Thanks for the call, buddy.
Let's go to Marty in Kentucky. Marty, you're on with Chris and Rob.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing this work?
We're good.
Great, my man. How are you?
So you back home now?
No, I'm in Cocoa Beach watching the fireworks show off the pier.
But you just stopped
nice.
claiming Florida?
I know, because we didn't know who you were. But we didn't know who he was when he said he was from Florida.
That's why he said, let him know who I am.
Cocoa Beach, very nice.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. But I'm going to go in the middle here and say that he's neither sensitive nor is he gangster. He's just young, and he's being young, and he likes to have a little fun on the internet, and a lot of young people do. And you know, you guys, and I know Rob, I mean, Chris is in his 50s. Rob's like in his 80s or 90s.
Oh, wow.
I'm 50. I'm not really in my 50s.
Yes, you are. You're 50 years old.
Rob is well into his 50s.
The only thing I don't understand is when I go to the stores and these young chicks who I'm like eyeing, you know.
Right.
I'm like looking at them going, you know, maybe there's a chance. And then she gives me the senior discount. So, you know, right there, I got a Mr. Softie. Nothing's going right my way. I'm just like, this is not good.
We don't appreciate your jokes, old man.
Thank you, Marty. Let's go to Torian in Georgia.
I was hurt when I got a senior discount.
He might give you a city discount, Rob. You might need it.
Go ahead, Torian.
Anyway,
You said I might need one?
You might need one, Rob. You're not old, but you're seasoned.
I'm seasoned. That's right.
He's seasoned.
But anyway, the thing is,
you know who else is seasoned? He's seasoned like Sean Livingston is seasoned.
Oh, wow.
Like Carmelo Anthony is seasoned.
oh, my goodness. Chris, you are off the chain, man. Listen, this is what I got to get to. If you check the history, when he was in Texas as a freshman, Kevin Durant did not really talk to the media like that. He was obscured from the media. He was close to the people who he was close to, and that was it. So when he gets to the NBA, it's nothing changed. It's just a different persona now. He's the man. He's a killer. He got a killer attitude, but then the attitude goes away when you're dealt with circumstances that confront you towards the attitude.
No,
that's all it is.
That's a good point about the college.
That's all it is.
And we saw this, Chris, at OKC when he demanded the paper retract the headline. Just think about that.
Here's an interesting thing. I've Kevin Durant. I've texted with Durant about this because I've said, like, this was months ago, many months ago, maybe even a year ago, about is this the real you? Because, since he got to Golden State, he was cursing more. He was going at, media more. He was going at refs more. I said, most people thought this wasn't the real you, right?
Don't you remember when he won the MVP and he cried and his mom?
Right.
It was like, oh, my God, this guy, what a great kid. I thought this guy's unbelievable.
Right. And I said, is this the real you? Or people think it's fake, versus the guy at OKC. He said, no, this is the real me. And then I don't know if it was Durant or maybe Kendrick. One of his teammates was saying, the thing was that in Oklahoma City, they're known for their PR staff really keeps the media at bay.
Well, it's easy to do that when there's only two papers.
Right. And they protect the players from the media. And it was Kendrick Perkins. He said they would always talk to them about don't say anything in the media, like anything controversial, whatever. So Kendrick was saying, he said it's on Undisputed, that KD, you didn't see the real KD in OKC because he was kind of muted.
They told him
and now he's gotten to Oakland with Golden State.
And they never would say
and
that.
And he's the real, like, this is who I am. So I'll give him that.